Gather around, everybody. It's story time with Sully. Hey, what's good, everybody? It is Sully, and this week we are doing something a little bit different. Behind us here, we have our Reef Runner 28 Tournament Edition that we just wrapped up for Twin Tails Yachts. Now, we've done a whole build series about this boat, putting all the stuff in, the deucers, the lights, and the stereo, and all that good stuff. But I wanted to walk you guys through why we made the selections that we did for this build. We were at the boat show down in Newport. A lot of people were asking questions, and I thought, you know what? Let's talk about it, and let's enlighten everybody as to why we chose what we chose for that. And a quick little background, guys, you know that I have been able to be very lucky and be involved in a lot of amazing builds. This one is no different. This is the first Reef Runner 28 with a pair of V10s. I've got a long list of other boats that we've done and made performance out of, and this one is right up there with the rest of those. It's just been an amazing project to do. We're still dialing it in, still tuning it in, but we're seeing, you know, upper 60s on this thing. Once we get the props right and a couple other things, I think this boat's gonna be a true rocket ship. So stay tuned. We're gonna have those numbers for you real soon as well. All right, guys. So let's get down to brass tacks and let's talk about this build. We're gonna kind of do like I normally do. We're gonna try and go top to bottom, but we're gonna bounce around a little bit, I'm sure. The first thing we got asked on this build was, Sully, this is a fishing boat. You put this into the fishing corner as kind of a go out there and kill fish and make it a fishing machine. Why did you do the dome radar and not an open array? Now that open array looks really cool. You can do a Phantom 4-foot open array, or you can do this 24-inch Phantom dome that we have here. They are both a 50-watt power output, so the output is going to be identical. We're going to have a narrower, sharper beam with that 4-foot open array, which is great for some target separation, but that comes at a cost. I want to say it's over $3,000 difference between the dome and that 4-foot open array. And when we're talking about a boat like this, we do have to kind of keep in mind the budget of things and figure out where it makes the most sense to spend that money. And we can certainly spend that $3,000 elsewhere in some other cool stuff. So that's why we went with that 24-inch dome radar. Directly behind that, we put a marine sat compass. It's an MSC-10 from Garmin. That's kind of our go-to now for a GPS antenna. It has multiple antennas on it. It's a heading sensor. It is dead accurate. It gives us really good radar overlay. But what it also allows us to do with this is we can go into the Garmin and we can tell this exactly where it is on the boat, from left to right, bow to stern, how high up it is. And once we do that, we can now have heave compensation. And when that is tied in with the GSD-28 sonar, or in this case also the PS70 transducer, we now know what the true bottom looks like. So that's a really piece of awesome kit to be able to do. So again, costs a little bit more than your standard GPS antenna, but you're gonna get a lot of gains out of that as well. Now remember, this does have to be calibrated. When you go out there, you have to make your circles and get it all dialed in, but that sat compass is amazing. Now, talking about in the hardtop, we also have done the Gem Lux outriggers. Those are really great outriggers. They've done us very solid through all of our builds, and that helps us keep with our black and white motif on there by putting the black outriggers on there. And then we've also gone ahead and we have done the Lumishore 30-inch light bar on here. Now that light bar, we've gone ahead and we've color matched black. We did that in-house with the Quantum paint, and that allowed us to continue on with that black and white motif. Now, that light bar, guys, that thing is amazing coming into a harbor at night. Even if you don't have any type of a low light camera or anything like that, which this boat doesn't have, we can go ahead, turn that light on, and all of a sudden it is daytime in front of us coming into a harbor, and we're gonna start to see all the boats, the mooring balls up here, the lobster pots, all of those things are gonna show up in the water up here. So it just works out really well to have that light bar right there, and we push it far enough back so that we're not getting any washout on the bow. We're not going snow blind from having that on there. We wanna make sure that light bar is pushed far enough back. And of course, everything on the hardtop, including the 4-foot digital antennas, are all running through scan strut cable glands in black. So now we've got everything run through there. Everything is sealed up. We're going to keep the water out of the hardtop and make everything really, really nice. Now, we're going to go ahead and let's work our way down and let's talk about the light show on this boat. You guys are really familiar with me. You guys know I do a lot of lights. We tried to go a little reserved on this one. I know it looks like we've got a lot on here, but we definitely went a little more conservative on this one. We've done a pair of the downlights on here from Lumishore. So now with just those downlights on, we can do warm white, we can do cool white, and we can do the full color spectrum with color tunability. So you can go ahead and turn just those on, and you're still gonna get a lot of light on the boat. But what it didn't do was it wasn't lighting up in the foredeck area or around the deck, or maybe you're coming in at night and you want to work the lines and things like that. You're going to need under gunner lights. In this case, we went with the Neon Flex lighting, and we've gone ahead and wrapped that up both sides. And again, that's through the LumaLink controller on board. And you can see if we turn off the overhead lights and have just the Neon Flex, you're gonna see that we have really good light on deck here. So if you want to go ahead, like I said, work lines and do things like that, you have that functionality and you're not killing your night vision. And again, full color tunability, you can brighten it, you can dim it, you can do all of that. And then we've also, you know, because it's me, we had to get a little pop in there. We went ahead and with the live well, we put 2 live well lights in there, and those are the same full color tunable because you know what? The bait should join in the party and the discotheque as well, right? And then to cap off on that Lumishore, we have a trio of the SMX 154 underwater lights on here. And because of the transom setup on this boat, we've actually got them pushed in a little bit, tucked in from the motors. So it's gonna give a really nice light spread without actually seeing the light. So that works really, really good. And we can do things like color sweeps from side to side. They have 3 presets on there with ice, Miami, and sunset, changing up the colors and changing the different patterns of things, as well as full color cycles and full color tunability. So we've got all of that taken care of as well. And then let's talk about the motors here, guys. Like I said, this is the first boat from Reef Runner to get a pair of V10s. We've gone ahead and put a pair of the 350s on here. We're still dialing it in. We've got some 4-blade 29 pitch props. They're absolutely amazing. We're still coming up a little short on RPM, so we're gonna tune those out there and figure out what exactly it is we need to do there to get those numbers. But like I said, right now, mid-60s all day long without a problem. Now, moving forward from there, let's talk transducers and sonar. We did go ahead and put out to everybody when we started this build, should we do a pair of 8616s or a single 9222? Unanimously, you guys all said you wanted a pair of 8616s because you wanted to be able to split that up and parse all of that data out however you wanted. So that's what we've done on this one. And we could have just plugged our transducers into that, but we wanted to go with the bigger sounder module on here. That's why we did the GSD28. Now with that GSD28, we have the ability to do 2 high-powered chirp transducers up to 3 kilowatts. Well, in this case, we've done a B175 high-wide flush mount, and we've done a B175 low flush mount on the other side. So that's gonna give us that high-wide, nice wide beam angle, 1 kilowatt chirp, wide frequency there, and it's gonna give us, you know, at about 600-700 feet, we're gonna get a really good target picture. If you're going out deeper than that, you want to go to 1,000, 2,000 feet, you have the B175 low, which is more of a focused narrow beam on there. And that's being handled by, again, that GSD28 sonar module running into the Garmin network. Outside of that, we have the brand new PS70 transducer. That is a 110-degree beam angle transducer with a live scope look at the bottom. So it's really awesome. We got a nice wide spread on that one. We can see life in the column. We can map the bottom. We can do a triple beam setup and really start to see everything that's out there. So we've really covered the full spectrum when it comes to fishing up to probably, 1,800 feet. We've got you covered on this. And that, of course, is all being fed into, like I said, a pair of the Garmin 8616s on here. So those have been absolute powerhouses for us. They've been great, tried and true, and we've got our Lumishore running through that. We have our Rockford Fosgate audio via the NEMA network on there. We have all of our sounder tiles. We have our Mercury vessel view on there. We've got all of that tied right in. So it's really, really awesome. Now, talking about Rockford Fosgate, this boat has 12 of the, I think they're 7.5 or 8-inch speakers. I apologize, Rockford, I don't remember off the top of my head, but we have 12 of those on board, and we have 2 10-inch subs in the leaning post. That's all being powered by a trio of amps. 2 5-channel amps and a single 4-channel amp. So not only does this boat sound good, but when you're zipping along at 50, 60 miles an hour, you can turn it up and still hear it nice, loud, crisp, and clear. And we've gone ahead and broken that out into zones. So if you're driving the boat and you don't want your ears blown out, having it all the way cranked up, but somebody's up front, they want to hear it, you have that flexibility to do that. So it's really cool. That was a really nice feature to be able to do and tie that in with their new NEMA junctions. Now, like I said, we can also control that on our MFDs. So I think I covered almost everything on this install off the top of my head, guys. I think the next step for here is to get out here on this beautiful evening, go ahead, create some content, throw the drone up, get some pretty shots of this boat. If you have any questions about this boat, reach out to Adrian at Twin Tails Yacht Sales, or just leave it down below in the comments. We'll make sure to get in touch with him for you. And if you got any other questions about the build, why we chose certain things, hopefully I've answered it. But if I didn't, guys, leave it down below in the comments and I'll do my best to fill you in. Hopefully you enjoyed Story Times with Sully. We'll see you again real soon. Peace.